Huh, you know, I wonder if it's a bad idea to stand in dirty, swampy water like this. I mean, I'm sure it's fine, right? Oh no, it's the consequences of my own foolish actions. Who could have possibly foreseen that one could catch disease by lingering in infectious places? Sorry about that. My parents always told me I should try out for theatre, but I've got crippling social anxiety, so I became a YouTuber instead. But anyway, with today's Mod of the Day, you'll need to be just a little more careful when adventuring through otherwise potentially dangerous environments. For today's Mod of the Day is Infectious Places by Actually Ulysses. A modular gameplay and immersion mod, Infectious Places makes it so that exploring places like tombs, sewers, six-house bases, egg mines, and, yes, even swamps, can potentially result in catching a disease. Just depending on your degree of exposure and how long you've been lingering in those environments. Tombs are filled with the stench of death. The air is filled with ancient dust, carrying the remains of the ancestors. And, that cannot possibly be healthy. If you're not careful, just breathing in the air here can result in catching common diseases, like chills or brown rot. Egg mines carry the risk of getting the droops, presumably from just all the insectoid animal organic material that's everywhere. Run through a sewer and you now risk catching swamp fever or witchbane, but honestly, what do you expect from wading through all that detritus? Six-house bases carry a constant risk of catching various blight diseases, as if the divine disease has been spread in the air itself around these dangerous lairs. You'll need to be just extra careful before venturing into one of these dungeons. And even swamps, yes, swamps, carry the risk of getting swamp fever. So now, finally, Cedonine can live up to its name as the swamp fever capital of Tamriel. Just all the more reason to get out of here just as soon as you can. To combat this increased risk of illness, you'll need to protect yourself. Donning a mask or closed helm, particularly with the mod protective helmets installed, will give you an automatic boost to resist disease and blight. A perfect opportunity to put that Plague Doctor mask to good use, protecting you from the dangerous disease-carrying air in those sewers, tombs, and crypts. Of course, even with a mask, that only gives you a 10% disease resistance, so you'll still just want to limit your time in infectious environments. By default, you have a chance of catching a disease every 30 seconds in one of these infectious places. So the longer you're there, the longer your chances of catching illness increase. Adding just a whole new dimension to dungeon exploration. And now you'll just, you'll need to weigh the risk versus the rewards when sticking around in these environments. It's a whole new environmental obstacle for you to overcome. And to try and overcome it, you will want to stock up on just as much common disease resistance, spells and enchantments as you can, to improve your immunity while you explore these dungeons. And this is something I really like about this mod, because, honestly, there really wasn't much point in investing a lot in common disease resistance in the vanilla game. There really weren't a whole lot of ways that you could catch a disease, so, you could just carry a few potions with you, and that would be enough. While you'll still want to carry those cure disease potions, you'll want to just improve the odds just as much, in your favor as you can, by improving your immunity. As I said though, this is all modular. Infectious Places comes with 5 downloads, 1 for each type of environment, so you can pick and choose which ones you want. And of course, because this is a MWC mod, each one also comes with a mod config menu, where you can adjust just how often the mod checks to see if you become infected, the chance of infection, and even what diseases each environment could potentially give you. You can also blacklist certain cells from being covered by this mod. So, if you'd rather not carry the risk of getting Witsbane and Vivex Canalwix, you can just adjust it so that, that cell isn't covered. And again, because this isn't OUC, it'll automatically work with any and all mods that add new cells to the game. Like, say, the tombs from Terry Built, or even my own egg mine, which, yes, I'm still working on that, it'll be done eventually, I promise. It takes a bit of time. This is honestly just such a neat and immersive mod, inspired by Spammer's own Infectious Sewers from the 2022 May Marathon. Only unlike that mod, this one has rather gone under the radar, and is sadly just another heavily underrated mod from the 2023 Marathon, with just 8 endorsements on the Nexus. If you're looking for an immersive mod that adds environmental challenges to the game, I would highly recommend checking this one out. It sorely deserves a bit more attention. But that's just our mod today. So, as always, I've been your host, our Golf Guy. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. Or wait, no, that's not really thematically appropriate, is it? Stay infectious? I don't know. Happy modding, and I'll see you all next time.